Am I the a-hole for telling my father-in-law that he's a shit father? So I, 27F, knew my husband Rowan, 29M, for a while before we even dated. We grew up in the same town, and we were good friends through school, so I met a lot of his family, etc. when I was a kid. We lost contact for uni, but then kind of talked again after and have evidently dated and got married. When I was a kid, I always kind of thought that Rowan's dad was weird. I obviously didn't have much context for it then, but I always thought it. His mom passed away when Rowan was young, and he has one older brother, 40M. But obviously the age gap meant that they weren't very close for much of his childhood. I know that when Rowan was a teen, he acted out, drank a lot with his friends, got into fights, didn't have good grades. I don't doubt that he was a difficult kid to raise, but I always thought that he was a good person, and still do. When we started dating, he told me about the reasons behind him acting out. That his father was always drinking or out. That he constantly told Rowan that he wasn't good enough, that he was a shit son, etc., etc. Accused him of sneaking out, unprotected sex drugs, constantly tore apart his room looking for incriminating things. Rowan's changed a lot now and is a genuinely down-to-earth guy that would help anyone that asked. Him and his father don't really speak anymore. This was mainly due to a huge argument they had when Rowan was about 18, and his dad said that his mom would be really disappointed in him if she was still alive, that he was never going to amount to anything. Rowan told me after that he packed his bags, stayed with a friend for a while, and hasn't particularly spoken to his dad ever again. Rowan and I went back to the hometown this weekend to see my parents, and me and my mom went out to a bar for a catch-up. I immediately recognized his dad because he has a bunch of tattoos of random things on his neck and whatnot that I remember looking at as a kid, and he was standing next to me at the bar. We made eye contact, and he looked surprised, and said something to the effect of, "I heard you and Rowan got married. I'm surprised, he's always been a skirt chaser. Thank God he doesn't speak to me anymore." I repeated the sentiment that I was glad they didn't speak anymore, but added that it was because he'd been a shit father. He got very defensive, saying that Rowan had been difficult to raise and whatnot, and I just turned around and left to go and sit back down with my mom. I kind of pity him, but I wish I'd just not even spoken to him and left it. Am I the a-hole?